Hi everyone, today we will talk about pivot table. So it's very simple. Basically, pivot table we are trying to get a summary of the data. Here are some examples. Let me convert in the numbers, the values. So we have some data here available where we know that the same person is repeating, like you can see here one name like Anthony is repeating 5 to 10 times. So what is his total sale? Okay. So to get that kind of data, what we are doing, we are making a pivot table. Few things you have to remember when you are making pivot table, that your headings of the data should be filled. If any heading is empty, you cannot draw a pivot table. So that is the key factor of pivot table. You have to remember. So here is very simple, 3 to 4 column you can easily recognize, but when you have 50 to 60 column, maybe any column data missed. So how to check missing field of the heading? Let's say the data is not here, you have to press control button and right arrow key. When you press it, it will stop on the last data because the next data is empty. So when all the column data fill, the cross check is press control and press right arrow key. It will go to the last column. It's mean all headings are filled. Now let's move toward pivot table. We have a data. Anything missing from data doesn't matter, but heading should not miss. Any column should not miss in the heading. So let's start. So I prefer always to select either. If data is fixed, it will not increase. So control shift and select full data. If you know that data is going to increase in future, always select from the top full data. Insert pivot table. What it's showing in first select a table or range. It's showing range A to D because we selected full. Then you want a new worksheet, you can select new worksheet and OK. It will move to the next sheet here. Otherwise, if you want an existing, you can click here and you can choose the location by clicking anywhere, wherever you want. But before going here, there is a second option you can see here, recommended pivot table. It will give you the designed pivot table. Just click here. You can see multi-type of pivot table is ready. See here the summary of total, sum, sale by user, sale by month. So sale by month, user description, you can click here, you can see. So there's a lot of type already ready-made pivot table, you can get it. When you click OK on the new sheet, you can see the pivot table designed. But that is not important to learn. What you have to learn, insert, when you select the data, pivot table, I will choose existing location. I want here pivot table. Click location already G3 selected. OK. Now you can see you have a one box here which is called pivot table. Then pivot table field, month, date, user description, sales. So these four are our headings. So always remember when you insert pivot table, immediately after that you have to go in design, subtotal do not show, grand total of for rows and column, report layout. Layout should be in tabular form. So after drawing the pivot table, you have to go in design and select these three options. After that, according to your requirement, you have to draw the data like month. It depend. You can see here filter. If you want month or date in filter, you can bring in the filter column, filter area. In column, if you want the data in column which data you want, you can bring that in the column area. Then rows area and values always calculate the number, count, average. So here you can calculate the numbers. Let's say I will choose here month. So month will come here. All month you can see now summarized. So what pivot table will do? Pivot table will not repeat the Jan again. See here many times Jan repeated, but it will summarize. Fine. Then what we want user here. So we get users and sale here. So if you notice the data size here up to 141 rows, but here it's summarized in 10 to 15 rows, 18 rows. Why? Because it summarized the data. It will give you the summary. You can close this also, or you can get month here also. Now you can see month-wise summary in front of you. You can get month here also. Each person will show here in Jan, Feb, March. So different kind of pivot table you can draw. So I choose month here. You can close this box. You can design, automatically it will go to design area, design, any design you can choose, select. Always this thing is irritating when you draw a pivot table by selecting this area. So how you can, because there is a lot of empty rows here, so how you can get rid of blank field? Just select here, go in label filter, go in does not equal, keep empty and OK. So it will filter the blank area always. Now this is your pivot table. The next thing is that in pivot table you can select any month data, Jan, Feb. So you can see the filterization in pivot table. So this is your pivot table. Now you want a total of sale. You can go in design, grand total on. So it will give you grand total. Subtotal will come when we have a different type of data. So we have now complete data. There's a one more interesting thing in pivot table. Click on pivot table, go in insert, you can see here slicer. Click on slicer, take the month and click OK. You can see. Now click on pivot table, you don't go in design. In pivot table analyze, go in field list. Now you don't need month. Finish month from here and keep month with you. This is called slicer. Go in slicer setting. It's up to you. Increase column. I want like this. You can choose any color of slicer, any setting, height, width. So now instead of making selection on the top, it's very easy to click here and see the monthly data. And if you don't want to see monthly full year data, just click clear filter. It will give you like this. Same way you can insert slicer for user description. Click the names with you. You can go in pivot, remove user from here, bring month here. So this is the monthly data with you. So person to person you can see the sales status of the year. Can go down, all the staff is here. So each staff monthly sale will be available in front of you. So this is called slicer. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's useful for you guys. Please subscribe my channel to watch more videos.